My name is Nwofor, and I used to do heptathlon actually, which is 7 events. It's hurdles, high jump, shot put, javelin, 200, 800, and the long jump. Oh my goodness, so many. But this is my first year competing as just the hurdle specialist. So I'll be doing the 60-meter hurdles and I'll be doing the 100-meter hurdles. I started athletics. I was a late bloomer. I done gymnastics, I done football, I done basketball, netball, everything but athletics. I don't know why. So I started athletics when my secondary school teacher was like, we need someone to fill in for school's champs or something. I was like, I'll do it. So they needed a hurdler and a high jumper. I done that. I won both of them. And then it just kind of went from there. I went to Newham Essex Beagles. Well, that is my club, my local club. There was no space in the sprinters group. There was no space in the jumpers group. There was only a space in the combined events group, the heptathlon group. So I just got shoved straight into the deep end. But I was doing that since maybe like 10 years I've been doing that for. And this will be my first year doing it as just hurdles.
So we've got some lovely Year 6 students from Essex Primary who are going to ask you some questions.
My name is Benjamin and I'm in Year 6 and I'm 10 years old.
My name is Zainab and I'm in Year 6 and I'm 11 years old.
Who inspired you to start?
Who inspired me to start athletics and take it to the level that I have was definitely my parents. My mom, when she was younger, she used to swim, she used to dive, and she used to do like trampoline. She used to do everything really, but her main one was swimming, and she wasn't able to go to a high level. And then for my dad, he used to play football and he used to run, but again, he wasn't able to go to that high level, that next level. So I wanted to do it for them, and I just didn't want to waste the opportunity. So they inspired me.
Did you ever get out of breath?
I get out of breath before the race has even started. So when I was younger, obviously I didn't train a lot, so I was quite tired. You know, you want to play with your friends and you want to have fun, do everything else. So when it comes to training, you are quite tired because you want to do your very best. But yeah, during the race, especially for hurdles where you have to jump over a hurdle as well as run in between, it does get tiring. And if you're not out of breath at the end of the race, that means you didn't run fast enough.
How often do you eat junk food?
Honestly, I don't really eat junk food that much. You can have it as and when, you know, but you don't want to eat too much of it. You want to have like a healthy, balanced diet. Make sure you get your 5 a day. Make sure you get your protein for your recovery. You don't want to be eating too much chicken and chips, otherwise you might have a bad stomach.
What is your diet?
In 2018, so I think that's 3 years ago, I tried a vegan diet. Do you guys know what vegan diet is?
Yeah. It's not just vegetarians when you can't have like animal-based products, right?
Perfect, that's correct. Yeah, so I cut out all meat products, chicken, beef, even eggs, milk, cream, butter, like all of it. I just cut it out. Ice cream, cheese, all of that stuff, I cut it out. And I was just eating loads of vegetables. I was trying new green leafy vegetables. Well, I wasn't trying them, I was eating them. And I found that I had a lot of energy, surprisingly. I thought I would be really tired, but I wasn't. So I'm on a vegan diet at the moment. And sometimes I'll eat meat. So I'll be in and out depending on how tired I am. But for the most part, vegan or vegetarian, plant-based.
When you're on your diet, how did you feel when you couldn't eat those type of things?
I love ice cream. I just love food. Like, bring anything to me, whether it's like Asian, African, Caribbean. I just love food. So when I couldn't eat it, at first I was a bit sad because, you know, who doesn't want to eat their favorite dishes? But because I knew it was going to help me and benefit me to be a better athlete, I was like, okay, I can take that sacrifice because the outcome's going to be great. Which it was. It was really great.
Who cheered you on when you used to do your races?
So when I was younger, my mom used to take me to every single competition. She was my driver. She was like my physio. She used to like shake my legs. She used to give me like a pep talk. So my mum used to go to every single one of my events, my competition, sorry. But depending on what kind of competition you're going to, sometimes you'll have your family there to cheer you. If you was going there as a team, you have your teammates to cheer you. If you was doing like an international competition where you're like Team GB, you have everyone cheering you on that way, and even like fans and supporters coming to cheer you on, which is really nice.
How long did it take for you to be a professional?
Loads of people have different paths in sport, which is really nice. So one thing that I would say is that you don't have to be a professional when you're like 16 years old. Like, it doesn't matter what time, everyone's journey is different. So when I was younger, I didn't do any junior internationals. I was 20 when I first represented Great Britain. It was like a boost of motivation to be like, okay, I am good, I deserve to be here. So it took me until I was 20 to become like a professional running at an elite level.
What was the first competition that you did that you won, but it was only individual?
I was in secondary school. It was either year 8 or year 9. I can't remember. That was years ago. And I just had to go and do this competition. I found a random pair of spikes, and it was the hurdles race and it was the high jump race. And I just won them, like, with minimal training.
Have people ever looked down on you? Like, made fun of you? And
oh, of course, yeah. A lot of the time, me being a girl, I went to my secondary school was mixed boys and girls, but my primary school, but my secondary school was just an all girls school. So sometimes when you're good at sports or you're good at things, people will start picking on you, be like, oh, you're annoying, or you're, I don't know, whatever they say these days. So yeah, I did get picked on and made fun out of. At first, I was quite sad because no one wants to be picked on, right? But then speaking with my mom, speaking to my friends, my teachers, and they said, you have a gift, so don't worry about what people say about you. And if they say nasty things, it's just because they want to be you. So yeah, just brush it off your shoulder.
When you were younger, did you ever think that you were gonna be doing this for a job, or what job did you want?
I didn't know what I wanted to be when I was younger. I knew that, like I said, I wanted to do something involving sports, but I just kept doing what I loved, and the path just found me. I just found my way into what I do now, which is great. But I do also have a side job just to make a bit more income.
How tall are you?
I am 1 meter 71.
Does hurdles make you taller?
Oh, I wish. If hurdles made me taller, I'll be doing like twice the set of hurdles. No, hurdles makes you a lot more mobile. So because you have to have really mobile hips to be able to go over the hurdles. In a minute, I'm going to go outside and we can take a look at the track and I can show you around, which would be pretty cool.
When you were younger, like our age, were you tall?
I was pretty tall. My dad is quite tall. My mum is not as tall. But I was, out of my classmates, I was a good height.
What's your biggest achievement?
My biggest achievement, I would definitely say representing Great Britain at the World European Indoors. And that was in Poland last year. And we all know about COVID and how crazy that was with the lockdown. It was really hard to train, but luckily I had the opportunity to go out there, represent my country, and be around all the international elite athletes. So that's definitely my biggest achievement.
Where do you live? Like,
where do I live?
City-based.
Country?
Your city.
Yeah, so that's a good question. I was living in America for 3 years, the last 3 years.
Oh.
But before that, I was in London. So I'm born and raised in London.
Studying sports science changed how you train?
Oh, 100%. So studying sports science has allowed me to understand why certain things happen. So for example, if we go back to the diet, it helped me understand if you eat bad food too much, like what it does to the body and how it like inhibits or makes training harder for you. Also studying sports science, you could do like loads of really cool blood tests and loads of different activities and find out how healthy you are and how much training you can do before you feel sick and loads of stuff like that, which was really cool.
Have you had any difficulties or injuries that made it harder for you to do sports and stuff?
Luckily for me, I haven't had, touch wood, touch all the wood in the room. I haven't had any serious injuries. I haven't had any surgery or anything like that. Being a heptathlete, doing loads of different events, jumping, hurdling, running, throwing, your body starts to ache and wear and tear. So I've had shoulder problems, hip problems, neck problems, but no, luckily no serious injuries.
What is your next target you are hoping to achieve?
Oh, so this is next season we're coming into. So there are a few major competitions which I'm really excited for. We have the World Indoors, which is in March. And there's World Outdoors, which is in America. There's European Outdoors, which is in, I think, Serbia. Damn, I don't remember. And the main one is the Commonwealth Games. Have you guys heard of Commonwealth Games?
Isn't it when the Queen used to rule there, but then she stopped ruling and now it's called Commonwealth?
Check you out. That is exactly what it is. So those countries that fit in that within that cluster of countries, they all compete against each other, and that will be happening in Birmingham this year. So I'm hoping to go. Actually, no, I'm not hoping. I'll speak into existence. I will be going there for the 100-meter hurdles.
What sport is your favorite?
Okay, so do you mean like sport as in football, basketball, athletics, or event?
Oh, sports like footballs, basketballs, and stuff like that.
Athletics. If I wasn't, I choose athletics just because I'm so consumed in it. But if it wasn't that, I definitely do love a good netball. Put me in goal attack and I will be up and down, I'll be scoring, all of that. But since I've been to America, have you heard of American football?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the there's soccer and there's the one with the like rugby ball, I think, and then they throw it to each other on school.
Yeah, so I started to learn a lot more about that, and I found that quite interesting. That was really cool too.
Which one do you like? Soccer or football? American football or...
Oh, 100% football, like our football. When I went there and they were like, it's not football, it's soccer. I was like, no, absolutely not, guys. But no, definitely football.
Yeah.
One more question.
Okay.
In 10 years, what do you see yourself doing? So
In
when you're
10
35.
years. Ooh, gonna have a heart attack. 35. I'll hope to have achieved all my goals, represented Great Britain, and left a legacy for people. I do want to open up my own like academy or organization where I can help people that aren't able to have access to certain facilities, but more so from spending time in America. I think that the setup that they have there with sport can definitely be transferred to the UK. So somehow I want to kind of make a business that's able to bridge the gap between our two sports. I hope I'm not running at 35.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome.
I'm sure, guys, you might have some more, but Emma, you had some things you were going to show us.
Yeah, sure. Can you kind of see it?
Cool.
Can you see it?
Oh, that's so cool.
But that is what I got from when I went to the World Europeans that I was talking about in Poland. And every athlete got this, and it's engraved, which is super cool. And then I'll show you some of my medals. So this one here. So I got a gold medal, and it's engraved at the back, which is super cool. Oh, can you see it kind of? And this says first place 60-meter hurdles for women's track and field, which was super cool. And then this one here. Okay, that one's a bit better. This is silver, and it's second place. Can you kind of see it? Second place for high jump. Yep, that was last year too. And then this one here.
In the first place.
Another one. and this was for the pentathlon. So outdoors we do heptathlon, but when we're competing indoors we do pentathlon. So that was that one. And then another one over here. So this was this year outdoors. I got second place for the heptathlon. And the last one over here was another one. And this was in the 100-meter hurdles. So they were pretty cool. That was really fun. And there's some of them. And I'll be looking to get a lot more this year.
Were you going to show us your track outside?
Yeah, sure. Right, come with me. I'll give you a little tour. I'll show you some hurdles. And here's the gym.
Well,
There's the sand pit where we do long jump. When I was about 12 years old, this is how high no, not 12, about 13. Yeah, 13 and 14. This is how high the hurdles were. Now, this height, so just by under my hip here, that's the height that I run over. The men, I'll show you how high they do it.
that's my height.
They do it this high, so they have to run. That's where my belly button is. They have to hurdle over that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Do you have a trip, like when you're doing hurdles?
On my birthday, I competed and I was so excited. I was like, yeah, woohoo, it's my birthday. I'm going to do great. I made the final. I tripped over the last hurdle. I done like a James Bond roll and I got up. And I was just like, what do I do now? Like, I was so sad. But the good thing about hurdles and hurdlers is that everyone falls over somewhere, whether it's in the warm-up, whether it's in the race. So you kind of just get on with it.
Does it hurt when you trip over?
Yes. Depending how you fall. Like, I have a massive permanent bruise on my leg of how many times I've hit the hurdle. But it's okay. So you have to bring it over like this and round like that. So I would hold myself against the wall and I'll do about 20 of these to get my hips nice and loose, like this. And then with my lead leg, I feel like I'm a fitness instructor telling me what to do. And then with the lead leg, you want to make sure your knee is higher than the hurdle, because if you have it too low, you'll trip over and you'll hurt and you'll fall over. So you want to make sure it's nice and high, and you just do a couple of these. I'll turn sideways so you can see it as well. You want to make sure your body is nice and straight, nice and high, and that way you will get over the hurdle. So these are blocks, and with these you can have either pedal at the front. Let me see. So you can have this one at the front and that one at the back, or you can have that one at the front and that one at the back. And that way you are able to push off, so you have a really good explosive start.
You showed us the height of the hurdles. I don't know how easy it would be to show us the length of the sun pit and the height of the high jump.
Okay, so this is the high jump bit that we have here. And this is called a high jump stand. So you can see here, there's like numbers on it. This is my PB, my personal best, which if I'm, what did I say? I'm 171 centimeters. This is 181. What people say is that, like, if you can jump over your height, then that's a good start. So here is the long jump pit. This is a really terrible board, but so this white board here is where you can take off, but if your foot is anywhere over the black bit, it counts as a no jump. So when you run, you want to get as close to this bit as possible, without going over. If you go over, then it's a foul jump, and then you jump into this bit here. And my personal best is about here. So from here, I jumped all the way to that second mark just there. However, the men, they will jump about 8 meters, and that's from this board to about here. From here all the way to there. That's very far. Yeah, so before people used to just wear like trainers or like plimsolls, but then they started to get like spikes in them, and then after that they progressed. But if I show you these spikes here, can you see that yellow part? So that yellow part is extra cushion, which helps you like push off the floor a bit better. So imagine having like springs under your feet, and then like you're basically like running as if you was on the moon. Like you cover a lot more ground, and the force that you put into the floor, you get a lot more from it. So that's the kind of technology that people are using to try and maximize their performance. And it's the same way with this track. This is called Mondo. And again, like it's a bit more springy, so you can push off the floor a bit better. But there's so many different ways that technology is advancing within sport. Now it's evolving and changing a lot. So it's really exciting to see how it's going to develop over the years. And like when you guys are my age, what the sport's going to look like then. So.
What is your strongest event, and which one do you need to work harder to be good at?
So I don't do heptathlon anymore, but when I was doing heptathlon, my strongest event was definitely the hurdles. I was kind of a natural, even from that first time when I won my race, and I kind of just kept it through even up until now, which is why I do hurdles now. My weakest event, and the one that I needed to spend a lot more time, was definitely the 800. I personally do not have enough stamina. That was one that I needed to put a lot more training hours into.
Do you think tall people have more an advantage at winning for the hurdles?
Short people definitely don't. I'll put that out there. But sometimes if you're too tall, you have to shuffle between the hurdles, which means that you can't open your strides. So you can't get into a fast rhythm as easy as someone my height, luckily. Woohoo.
Do you think gymnastics helped?
When I was doing heptathlon, I think gymnastics definitely helped, because you're doing a lot of jumping, bounding, a lot of pushing off your arms. We call it plyometric. Like, so if you was to jump, do loads of jumps one after each other, that's plyometrics, because it helps your body react to the floor, and that helps for like loads of different things. And you naturally do that when you're running and jumping on the climbing frame, when you jump down and do like a roll to be like a spy person. Like all those kind of things help with building strength and plyometrics. So I definitely think gymnastics helped me because of that. Also because of the flexibility when you're going over the bar or in high jump, that also helped a lot.
Did you choose to study in this certain university because of the training facility?
Yes. So I decided to come here because of the coaches that I had access to that worked here, and it had an indoor track. So during the cold winter months, I didn't want to train outside. So we had access to this awesome facility.
What sacrifices did you make? Did you miss out on going out with your friends?
Yeah, I missed a lot of things. I missed like family events to go to competitions, especially when I was at university, when like all my friends were going out. I like stayed in because that's the time I was doing my work, because I was training during the day. You make a lot of sacrifices, and sometimes you're a bit sad or a bit down, but then when you look at the outcomes and all the achievements that you made, you definitely know it's worth it.
How often do you train?
So I train 6 days a week, which is crazy. I train on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I have Sunday off.
If we would like to become athletes, what advice would you give us?
Don't be afraid. Try different events, try different sports. You never know what you would be good at. And if you enjoy it, keep at it, keep doing it, and ask questions and ask more questions until you understand.
What techniques do you do to make your mind and confidence stronger?
One thing that I definitely needed to work on was my mental strength and believing in myself. If you don't believe in yourself and if you don't know that you're good at it, you're always going to struggle one way or another, because that glimpse of doubt may get you from first place to like 8th place or even 2nd place to miss out on a gold. So I do a lot of affirmations. So it's when you talk positively to yourself or about the things that you want to achieve, you look in the mirror and you say, I'm strong, I'm confident. When I graduate year 6, I'm going to go to the best secondary school ever. And if you even start doing it from a young age and just be very positive, then so many things will happen just because you believe in yourself and what your capabilities are.
What does your normal daily schedule look like?
I wake up around 7:30ish and I'll get ready for training. I start training at 9 a.m. and depending what day it is, we might have like a gym session in the gym that I just showed you. And then I'll be training until about 1:30ish, 2. And then I would go home, have a shower and like eat food. But depending what day it is, I also, like I said, I have another job. So sometimes I would go straight from training straight to work and I'll work until about 6 or 8, depending what my shift is. And then I'll come back, I'll shower, I'll sit on my bed and contemplate life for about 10-15 minutes. And then after that, I will read my book a bit, write in my little journal and go to sleep and repeat it again.
What is your other job?
I'm a supervisor in a health store. I advise customers on like different health supplements that they can have, different like protein powders, snacks and food and stuff that we have.
Which one do you like more, the store or being an athlete?
Oh, being an athlete, 100%. Hopefully, actually not hopefully, because we're talking. So whenever I say hopefully and I change my mind and I say it will happen, that's like another form of affirmations. So when I get sponsored, hopefully not hopefully, I will be able to train full time as an athlete. But I definitely prefer training and being an athlete.
How much time do you spend with the coach or training your own again?
From about 9:30 to 1 is when we spend time with our coach and the coach is there. And then the time after that, we all get on with other little exercises, rehab, injury prevention exercises that we do by ourselves.
Who is the most famous athlete you have met?
Well, I met Usain Bolt, David Beckham.
What about Nwofor?
Oh yeah, I've met Nwofor. We run for the same club. He runs for Newham Essex Wolf when he did run.
The final women's 60-meter hurdles. Set. And it's a clean start. Cuban in 5 out very well. She has an advantage.
That's my favorite race of all time. I literally just finished an 800 meters and like me and the 800 just don't really go well together. But I had my recovery. I was able to like eat some food, but then I was going over the hurdles. I was warming up, and I done like one rep of like 3 or 4 hurdles, and I just felt so good. So I was like to my coach, "I'm not doing anymore." He was like, "What do you mean you're not doing anymore?" I said, "I'm ready. Like I don't need to do anything else." And I've never had that much confidence in myself. But I was like, that's all I need. Like I just need to mentally get ready. So anyways, there's this thing called a call room where you have to like go there like 10 minutes before your race. So I went there. I was super chilled. I didn't even have my spikes on. Like, I don't know who I thought I was, but I was just like lying on the floor, just closing my eyes, visualizing the race. And then it went really quiet. And I was like, where is everyone? I opened my eyes and everyone's setting their blocks up to go over like a practice run. So I had like a little panic. I kind of went over there, kind of skip run. But I've set my blocks up. I didn't go over any hurdles to practice. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. So anyways, got on my blocks, we marched, get set, go, and zoom. And then I ran like a massive PB, a massive personal best. I won, like, and then yeah, I was like, yeah, come on. It sounds like my favorite race ever. This was my first international competition. This was at the European team combined events. That was myself, my friend Joe, and my other friend Marilyn. We was the female team. And I was so nervous. I was excited because it was like my first international competition, but I knew that everyone else on the team has done an international before. So I didn't want to let the team down, but at the same time, I wasn't too sure what it was like compared to normal competitions that I went to. But it's literally the same. It's my same run up. It's my same preparation, just at a different stage. So that was really fun. We came third in the end. I really enjoyed myself. That just gave me a taste for what I can do, and that just motivated me a lot more. This was my second international. It was so nice. So the previous one was in Spain, but it was indoors. This one here was in Italy, and it was an outdoor one. It was the World University Games. So there was loads of students who was currently studying, but also running, performing at an elite level. This was summer this year. I had not a terrible injury, but where you can see just on the left side of the picture where there's like tape, I don't know what I'd done, but it was hurting so bad. But this was the first competition that I would have competed in the UK for over 3 years, I think. So I was saying to my coach, I'm gonna run. And I ran okay. I made it to the finals. I think I came 4th or 5th. But yeah, no, that was me just sighing, being like, thank God I made it through the race. That was fun. Manchester, that one was. And this one was my biggest achievement. This was the European Indoor Championships in Poland. I was so scared, and this was my first major international. This event, there was the top people there. Not all the top athletes were there because of COVID. Some didn't want to compete, some didn't want to risk it, all of that kind of stuff. But I knew that it was an experience nevertheless. I was so nervous. Like, I was watching everyone warm up. I was like, hey, should I do this? Should I do that? And because my coach wasn't able to come that time, I kind of got engrossed in what was going on around me rather than focusing on myself. So I done okay. I didn't run terrible. I didn't make it to the next round. However, I learned so much, and it just allowed me to relax. And now that I've been to a major meet, now I can just relax and focus on myself. This was actually really interesting too, because I was in America and I had to travel back to Europe. I was traveling for 25 hours in total. And then I think 2 or 3 days later, that's when I competed. So I was telling myself I wasn't jet lagged, I wasn't tired from all of that kind of stuff. But I think deep down I was, along with like nerves and stuff. Oof. But yeah, no, that was a great experience, biggest achievement so far.
So thank you so much, and hopefully see you all again very soon. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.